Hey guys, what's going on? Daily Tactics here, and today we are going to be playing a little bit of the Army Men mod for Men of War Assault Squad 2. Now, last time around, I think on Tuesday, I did a video where I did all the clone commanders having a little bit of a battle royale, arena battle type deal. So I thought I'd do the same with the Army Men troopers here. So we have all the different colors minus the neon colors, which I didn't want to add to this, just to do just base colors. So we have purple over here, we have orange over here, which has not been introduced to Army Men Civil War yet. We have the grays over here. We have the dark greens over here. We have the tans over here. We have the blues over here. We have the reds over here. We have the light greens over here. And that is all of them there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different factions, all having a different corner of the map. And they will all be converging in the center of this ruined town and duking it out, fighting the good fight. And we will see which faction manages to be the winner. They all have the exact same weapons as each other. As you can see, the front row is... they've got one flamethrower, they've got 4 SMGs, they've got 5 M16s, then the second row they've got 5 standard rifles, they've got 1 MG32, they've got 1 SAW machine gun, they've got 1 bazooka, and they have another MG32. Then the subsequent last 3 rows are 4 rifles and then 5 SMGs. So they all have the exact same numbers, they all have the exact same health as well, so it should be a pretty interesting battle, I think. And also, before people ask in the comment section below, Army Men Civil War is coming very, very soon. I had some delays in creating it. I wanted to make it the best season premiere that I could. And so it will be coming very, very soon, I promise you that. So without further ado, I'll be right back and we can press start. Alrighty then, fellas, let's go ahead and press start, and all of the factions should begin marching forward. And as we can see, yes, they are light greens, reds, blues, tans, dark greens over here, the grays, the oranges, the purples. And yeah, that's about it, and we should get this battle underway relatively soon once they all meet in the middle, or they begin to see each other on the battlefield, and they begin firing at each other. Some are choosing to stay more clustered together, some are staying in natural formation here, some are splitting off into subcategories. Really, we're seeing some different strategies coming out from each individual faction. I think spreading out might be the best idea. Who do you think is going to win? Put your comment down below who you think will win, who you want to win. I'd be very interested to see the orange win because we haven't really seen them fight in many videos. Looks like the reds and the light greens are engaging already. A few red soldiers going down pretty early on, a few greens going down as well. See, these early battles, really, they'll come at a cost for the factions who end up losing men so early on, because they won't be able to compete with the larger factions who still have men. And it looks like the blues coming in on the flank of the reds over here and managing to chop them down from the flank, while the greens fire at them from their other flank. So that is very, very brutal. And it looks like the purples in the middle are engaging with the tans as well. Tans taking cover on this sort of square area here, and they're also firing at the grays, who are caught in the middle of a crossfire between the dark greens and the oranges behind them. So really all areas are combating each other right now. The reds are in a tough spot. They're down to maybe 6 or 7 troopers as the blues squeeze in on them. A few blue troopers going down early, and the light greens behind them are firing as well. Yeah, that is brutal for the reds. The purples over here have lost quite a number of troopers, but they've also taken quite a number of lives from the tan troopers, who are now retreating a little bit further back into the village. The grays are down to just a few troopers in here, according to the minimap. Oh yeah, there they are, back here in this sort of vineyard, and the oranges are now attacking the dark greens over here, who have a nice rock wall of cover, and the oranges seem to I keep calling them the Origins. The Oranges seem to be starting to enter into the city, trying to get some cover in here, and they're actually flanking the Purples over here. We can see a few Orange Troopers managed to cut down a few Purple Troopers right there. That's very, very good for them. And the Tans managed to break away from that fire, and they have now retreated back this way. But now the Tans are having to fight the Blues to the side over here. And the Blues are very spread out. A few of them fighting the Light Greens, who are retreating back. A few of them retreating all the way back into this house here. The Light Greens don't want to be in this open field engaging with the Blues, so they're trying to get away to the best of their ability. Still engaging slightly, but for the most part, they're on the retreat, and a small number of Blues, like I said before, did get caught up in an engagement over here with these Tan troopers who are in the city. Purples seem to be fully engaging with the Oranges over here, taking out a large number of them, while the I keep calling them the Origins. The Oranges take up the previously gray position over here with half of their army, and they're fighting the Dark Greens. I think the Grays are entirely out of the battle. Yes, the last few troopers for the Grays have been gunned down, and they are now donezo. And the Dark Greens over here are also slightly on the retreat. We see a few men running far, far back, as actually I think they're starting to engage a little bit with the Tans from behind as well. We can see a few Tan troopers getting shot at from the Dark Greens over here, while the Dark Greens also have to fight the Oranges. Everyone is split, fighting multiple places. The Light Greens have retreated fully back to this house. That's actually a pretty advantageous position for them. They're going to be able to shoot down at these Blues, and we can see a few Blues tried to follow them but got gunned down. The Light Greens will have nice cover up here and a uphill high ground advantage, which, as we know from Obi-Wan, is very good. A few Blues actually crawling into this position over here, trying to get closer to the Tans, who have still taken over this square. They have not lost this position. Very, very good position for the Tans. It's got a ton of cover from all sides, so they're in a nice spot. The Purples still inhabiting the center of the city, though they've sort of stopped engaging so much with these Oranges. A little bit of skirmishing going on, but the Oranges seem to not really be attacking fully over here. The men out here for the Oranges are very, very spread out in the middle. Still engaging with the Dark Greens. I think the Dark Greens do have the advantage over here. I think any one faction that gets too split up between multiple points of contingency, they're bound to lose this battle fast. We saw it with the Reds early on, where they just got butchered in the middle. So you don't want to be engaging with one faction for too long at the risk of having to fight another faction. The Light Greens are on the verge of extinction over here as the Blues gain a foothold over this way and begin really crawling through the grass towards them. But they're actually retreating back now. They've lost interest in these Light Greens, the surviving Light Greens, and are starting to make their way towards the city where the Purples are. The Purples taking position in this down church over here. Pretty good position. But the Purples, keep in mind, they've got this entire inner city, which is great. It's got lots of cover, but they're going to have the Blues coming in from this way. They're going to have the Tans attacking from this way, the Dark Greens attacking from that way, and the Oranges attacking from this way. So the Purples are going to be split pretty badly. Also, I saw a Light Green running this way. I think he got gunned down. And it seems like there's still four Light Greens way back here, crammed in the back. One's bleeding, as you can see, which is kind of funny. He might die pretty soon. Alright, so the Blues over here still working their way towards the city. A few of them over here working towards the right of the city over here, trying to attack these Tans. I think the Tans are in a very good position to win this thing. They're only really engaging with the Blues. The Dark Greens are slightly fighting them, but they don't have... They've got this hillside cover, so they're kind of covered from those guys. So the Dark Greens can't attack them fully, and then the Dark Greens also have these Oranges over here who are spattered about the countryside to deal with. The Oranges, I can't say the word orange. What is wrong with me? The Oranges, I think they might not win this. They're too spread out. They've got men all the way over here, but then all the way over here. Maybe if they start to really hunker down and play super defensively, they could cop the win. The Purples right now aren't getting engaged by anyone, so maybe they could pull out of this victorious, but the Blues are going to be attacking them pretty soon from this side. light greens coming out of the woodwork over here, literally coming out of the woods, and firing down the hill at some of these blues as well. I see a grenade being arced over that building, trying to get some oranges. It doesn't connect with anyone. That might be the first grenade of the battle. Also some oranges over here, still fighting these dark greens. I think it's honestly any man's game at this point. There's still many factions on the table. Many factions have lots of troopers left over still, so we could see anyone win here. I don't think the light greens will win unless they strictly stay out of the city. They stay over here behind cover, behind this hill, and they don't like come in until the very, very end when there's when everyone's beating each other up. But other than that, I don't see them winning. The reds obviously aren't going to win. They got butchered over here. The grays obviously aren't going to win. They got butchered over here. But, I mean, anyone else, I think, is a contender to win this whole thing. Tans over here are starting to take some more losses, though, which is not great for them. They've still got plenty of troops alive, but the more losses they take, the worse off they're going to be, obviously. The blues are becoming more and more spread out. They're taking up residency all the way over here to all the way over here. That's too big of a distance. They can't spread themselves out that far, or else they won't have a good fighting force. The purples are really just huddled together in this cluster of buildings over here. They've got men, but they don't have a lot, like compared to like the dark greens. And they're so close together. I almost worry one bazooka shot, one flamethrower, or one grenade could take out just a ton of their forces. But they do have that nice defensive advantage, which is good. We do see the blues continuing to engage with them, however. All right. Let's see. Tan troopers over here, still fighting away. A couple of them trying to heal. Who are these guys over here? Oh, the Tans have actually expanded their territory, moving all the way to the far left over here and trying to get a nice little flank on the blues. The blues responding by coming and holding up defenses over here and fighting back against them. Interesting. This soldier has lost his helmet. Obviously, he's taken a little bit of damage. But we do have an MG on this hillside behind good cover, firing down at those Tans. That's very, very dangerous for them. Actually, looks like many of these Tans are dying out. Yeah, so the Tans sort of hold this territory here, this rectangle of territory. The blues hold all this. The purples hold this tiny block here, but with lots of troopers. The oranges have actually come out of the city a little bit. That's interesting. And they hold all this. And then the dark greens haven't been super interesting in this battle. They've sort of stayed in this rectangular vicinity. But they've still got a very strong number of troopers. And they've got this nice brick wall of defense, too. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Ooh, that bazooka trooper got a nice shot off. Looks like it hit right here. Might have taken out a few troopers, but he did go down in the end. Alright. Still just constant fighting everywhere. I think each side is really trying to spread out and then take as much, you know, defensive territory as they can. You don't want to be too much on the attack in this, or you stand the risk of losing lots and lots of troopers. Look at this purple guy. How is he not dead? He's standing right in the middle of the kill zone of these blues, but he's still managing to stay alive. Interesting. How are the light greens doing? I'm sort of... You guys know I love a good underdog, so now I'm kind of like, man, I kind of want these light greens to win. Oh my god, that's a beautiful photo. Oh, they had to move right when I took it. I love that. Just like these guys in the poppies or whatever. That's cool. 3 light greens remain. They're moving out. Oh, okay. Kind of. They might be going for a flank on these blues, maybe trying to get the last licks in. And yeah, they are firing at these blues across the way. They managed to dome one and take off his helmet. They get a few hits on him, but then these blues respond by moving away. Light greens again on the run. As soon as they take hits or take some fire, they just sort of run away. Kind of guerrilla tactics. The light greens are turning into the Viet Congs. But, I mean, it's a good tactic. You know, just guerrilla hits is very, very good, especially when you have such low numbers. Did this guy just die? I think he bled out over here. He must have been wounded from earlier in the battle and incapacitated, and then ended up dying because he ran out of bandages or something like that. I'm guessing. And that'll get you. You know, you can't take too many hits or you'll go down. Blue soldier over here trying to get some big plays going, but he gets gunned down by these purples. I'm starting to think maybe the purples will win this. They've got such a nice defensive position over here in the inner city. It could be a purple game. The oranges are very spread out, which I think for them in this case is a good thing because they've got a solid line of defense going. Whereas the blues, who were spread out, were just out in the open, which is bad. But now the blues are, we can see actually overhead, lots of blue men moving forward, trying to enter into the city here, and trying to take over this purple position. They want to get in this city. They're tired of being out in the open over here, so they're pushing further and further in. How are the tans doing? Where are they at? They've retreated, actually. According to the minimap, yeah, they're all over here. There's about 5 tans remaining, and they must have just gotten caught in that position. Maybe the dark greens moved forward, took out too many of them. The blues were taking out too many of them. The purples were too. So they just sort of decided to fall back. So it's kind of like the light greens and the tans are sort of doing the same thing. Dark greens still haven't really pushed too far in. Looks like a few of them are going for the flank on these oranges, which is a pretty good idea. They've got this nice hill that they can fire down from. They've got riflemen. They're trying to gut some of these oranges, and they're connecting a little bit. They're getting some kills. They just don't have a ton of cover over here. If they had more cover, I think they'd be doing a little bit better, but they're still rifling off some fire, cutting down some of these orange troopers. Honestly, I still don't know who's going to win this. I don't know. It's anyone's game, I think, still. I think the purples have the strongest chance, though, right now. But that could change in an instant. These blues over here still continuing their assault. They've sort of narrowed their troopers down to this block over here and then a small block over here. And actually, we're seeing an MG trooper taking the fight to the purples over here, spraying some of them with some fire, which is nice to see. These purples, they're still a strong faction. Alright, the dark greens still engaging with the oranges over here. From the side, they're also, it seems, engaging with some tans, maybe? Yeah, I think they are. Way out here, the tans are trying to fight a little bit. Light greens, still memeing about over here. It's kind of funny. I like the light greens. I love the underdogs. So now I'm sort of rooting for the tans and the light greens, of course. Blues are seriously weakened. They don't have the numbers they used to, and they're pretty spread out still, so they have to cover a lot of ground with less numbers. So that's not looking great for them. Oranges still have a lot of troopers, I'd say, but they're getting that nasty flank from the dark greens. I don't see the dark greens really winning this. They're down on a lot of their numbers. They don't have as many as they used to, and they're out in the open here. They don't have a good position. They're easily flankable from the tans. They're flanking the oranges, which is good, but the oranges can just respond with their own fire because these guys don't have that much cover, which isn't great for them. They're also actually engaging with a few purples over here. Interesting. Okay. I still think the purples are the strongest. Oh, that guy ended up going down. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. This is a great map for this. This guy using this gravestone as a little bit of cover. Oh yeah, it's hard to engage the purples right now. It is hard. If the tans had done a little bit better in their opening engagement, gutted a few more purples, I think the purples wouldn't be nearly as dominant as they are right now. But they just managed to get into that city, man. While the others on the outskirts over here duked it out, they just sort of snuck on in. Light green still goofing about over here, watching from the hillside. They're strong, I think. Stronger than people would assume because they've got riflemen. Yeah, they've got all riflemen, which is great from their hillside cover because they can shoot down. If they had SMGs or something like that, it would be a little bit worse, but that's a strong trio right there. The tans, on the other hand, I've noticed they've mainly got SMG troopers. Yeah, they've got like one rifleman. Yeah, one rifleman and three SMG troopers. That's not as strong. Maybe if they were in the inner city or locked down within a house, I'd assume they'd be better off, but right now that's not the case because that's not the weapon for ranged warfare, and they have very little cover. Oranges have an all-around good arsenal. I mean, they've got enough troopers to have a little bit of everything. Also, they've got a lot of SMGs left alive, which is great, because, like I said, you know, they're inner-city fighting. They need that sort of rapid-fire, close-range stuff. Dark Greens over here, they do have a lot of riflemen, which is great. Dark Greens, if they just sort of chill here, I think, and they don't engage too much, which they've been doing. They've been, you know, sort of chilling for the most part. I think attacking the oranges when they did was a bit of a mistake, but if they continue to just sort of chill in their own area over here and not engage, then they could come out the victor, because they just have more troopers left over. But at the moment, they're sort of moving about, so they're sort of going against what I'm saying, but we'll see, we'll see. They're making some plays, which could benefit them, or, you know, if they played the cowards, which is, you know, sometimes considered less, I'm looking for the right word, honorable. It's less honorable, but it could win them the game, because if they just chilled on their hillside over here, didn't engage, then they'd have so many troopers and they wouldn't take any losses, and then they could just sweep whoever's left over in the inner city. But they're not really doing that at the moment. You know, they're moving out a bit more and trying to engage. I think they're trying, actually, to take out the remaining tans. They just kind of want to kill these guys, because we're seeing a lot of them move south this way. Actually, according to the map, they're moving north, but whatever. The Blues are sort of getting into the city like they wanted to, but doing so costs them a lot of troopers, and they're down to maybe 8 or 9. And like I said, they're pretty spread out. This guy's got a beautiful position. Oh my god, just fire at those purples right there, and you're golden, dude. Instead, he's actually engaging with these dark greens over here. No, no, no. You wanna... Yeah, he moved position, too. That was stupid, but he should have been firing at these purples over this way. The purples also sort of dislodging from their position. They're moving north towards the dark greens, which is kind of weird. Interesting. The oranges are still sort of locked into this courtyard. They haven't moved too much recently. They've still got a small sort of peninsula of troopers jutting out this way to block the dark greens from coming at them too hard, but they're not really pushing that way. They're more trying to dislodge the purples. I think one grenade just tossed in here would be devastating for the purples, but they're just not doing that. Light greens over here, moving in a little bit more. Still doing their sort of guerrilla warfare thing. They're doing chiclet shots. Actually engaging a little bit with the purples across the way here. They got one. Nice! Light greens. I want the light greens to win now. You know, tans, I don't care as much about. I want the light greens. Tans are the underdogs they're the new age underdogs. I want the old school underdogs who've been fighting the gritty fight since the beginning. Tans, you know, they're new to this. They're just sort of cowardly, sitting behind enemy lines over here. They're not trying to fight the fight, unlike the light greens. I want the light greens to win. I don't know if they will, but we'll see. Purples, having to deal with the light greens now, are responding with fire of their own, but that might open up the blues or the oranges to sort of move in while they're distracted. We'll have to see how that plays out. Dark greens wanting a piece of that inner city action, moving further and further forward, but they're having to fight for every inch of ground they take because they're having to deal with these purples who are moving north, like I said, while they move south. I think the purples should just stay where they are, but they're moving around, maybe. Maybe they're trying to respond to the pressure, which could end up working out if they win those battles, but if they lose them, it could leave them rather crippled. The oranges are down quite a number of troopers now. The long game they were playing hasn't really worked out, and every step of the way they ended up, you know, getting a bit of attrition and losing more and more men. So now they're just sort of hunkered down like the purples were previously, but I would say in a less optimal position. Light greens over here, still fighting away. Oh no! We lost a light green soldier! We're down 2. Dang. Alright. Well, we got one here at the very least. Out in the field. Get that nice screenshot. I like it. And then we have another right here behind him in the blue poppy sort of thing. Blues over here. Still trying to get into the city. They're not really having to deal with the light greens, which is nice now. I think the light greens actually might have done some damage over here on their flank. So they sort of lost that, but now they're trying to get into the city. Actually, wow, lots of movement right now. Holy cow. Okay, big plays are being made. The blues are trying to get up to this church. Interesting. I don't know where that guy got. Oh, they went over here. The purples themselves are crawling out, trying to get into the orange position. And they've sort of solidified a position for themselves here. And the oranges are retreating. They did not want to hold that position. They retreated. Although they held the flank over here and cut down those purples. These guys might have to deal with the light greens. No, the light greens, having lost a comrade, have retreated back to their other place. Purples, wow. Big plays, and now they're spreading their men out. Some are going towards the dark greens over here. Some are moving towards the oranges over here. Wow, weird. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. And the tans still chilling over here, dealing with the dark greens. The dark greens down a lot on their numbers. They're actually getting pushed by the purples over this way. And moving this way. I think the only dark greens that are alive are just these sort of 6 guys right here. Actually, are these dark greens over here? Yeah, there are actually a few over here, too. Wow, purples, big plays. The blues now have an opportunity to just sort of swoosh on in there and take over the purple territory, but instead they're just sort of sitting. They're sitting and waiting. Oranges have moved back to the city outskirts here. Very weird course of events. Very weird. Who's engaging right now? Is it the light greens? No, light greens are back to their little hideout. I love the light greens. Yeah, blue's sort of starting to move in a little bit. Oh, we got an engagement over here from the dark greens and the remaining purples. It's unclear right now if that was a wise move by the purples. They lost a lot of troops by dislodging themselves, but they also got a lot of pressure put off of them. And now they're fighting in the outskirts, which is a new experience for them. Wow, this has been a very twisting and turning, like, tides of war changing type of a battle. It's unique. I love it. This is great. Oh my goodness. This dark green soldier is still getting shot at by the purples, but, like, he knows they're not going to hit him, so he's just sort of chilling. He ain't even responding with fire of his own. He's watching this orange guy over here. What's going on in the inner city? So yeah, there are still some purples in the inner city. Not many. Seems like the blues are moving in on their territory here. Oh, they gave up that territory, so I guess there's that. Another purple gun down over here as the blues... Yes, the blues have captured the city. So now we still have light greens over here. Oranges over here. Blues have taken the city. Purples are weirdly everywhere. Don't know what the purple game is right now. We got like 2 guys crawling around the city over here, 3 on the outskirts over here engaging with the dark greens who are over here, and then the tans are just over here. Actually, tans coming back into the graveyard a little bit. Interesting. And the then there's one tan trooper over here. The tides of war have changed. They're shifting. They're shifting big time. Love it. This is a cool battle. Man, this is great. Alright, well these purples, God, on my 5, these purples over here, moving around a little bit. I think they're trying to reconnect with their other purples over here, but they do have these, what are these, why aren't these green, these greens could have just gunned down those purples. Are they just fixated on the oranges? I'm so confused as to why they didn't just kill them. These dark greens over here still thinking the tans are sort of behind them this way, and they're right, there's one there, but the other tans have sort of moved this way, and they are, yeah, they're sort of fiddling with the city a little bit. I think the light greens are taking pot shots or something. Yeah, here are the light greens sort of out here. Let's see, one's right here taking a few pot shots at these blues in the church area. Trying to kill them. Blues combating the oranges who are on the outskirts of the city now. Oranges should have held their ground. I think the oranges could have wiped out the purples and held their ground nicely, but instead they retreated. We'll see if that works out for them. But they are engaging with the blues now, who do own the previously purple territory. which is pretty interesting. The purples have sort of rejoined their forces over here. They're down to 5 men, and they're engaging with the dark greens, who, according to the minimap, really only have 5 or 6 themselves. Pretty even fight. Wow. This is a curious battle. The tans still have their 3 men. They're sort of chilling. They're not doing all that much. They're just sort of crawling around. Light greens are over here. Light greens actually starting to flirt with the city outskirts. Maybe going for that big flank on some of these blues. Interesting. Oh, no, they got spooked. These poor dudes. They're like, oh, there's only 2 of us. We've been fighting for so long. Dark greens over here have considerably downgraded. They're down to 4 troopers. I think they sort of lost that skirmish with the purples, but the purples are way back here now. Look at all the dead. The colors, you can like see how almost every faction has been everywhere. Like there are blues all the way over here. Purples like dead way over here, over here. Like dark greens, well, dark greens kind of stayed in the same place. Tans are dead like over here. Like troopers have sort of taken and lost positions as the progress of this battle has gone on. It's fascinating. Yeah, light greens, engaging a little bit more with these blues, doing their guerrilla assault here on this poor blue chap over this way. Trying to score the kills. This guy's in the wall. Interesting. Oh, and they do cop that kill. These light green soldiers I like them. They're champs. What? Let's see. This guy's got no kills. This guy's got no kills as well. Okay. At least they're doing damage to the enemy, but I think everyone else is finishing them off for them. Interesting. Alright, and then these blues. This guy's got 4 kills. That's impressive. This guy's got 3. This guy's got 1. This guy's got 5. This guy's got 1. Blues have racked up a lot of kills for themselves. Wow. Let's see how the oranges have done. Yeah, the blues are fighters, man. This guy's got none. This guy's got 1. This guy's got none. This guy's got none. This guy's got 1. This guy's got none. This guy's got 4. This guy's got none. Alright, so the oranges, less so. They've held good positions, but they haven't made use of them by getting kills very often. How are these purples? This guy's got 1 kill. This guy's got 1. This guy's got 2. This guy's got 1. Alright, so the purples are doing okay. They're not amazing. Let's see the dark greens. This guy's got 3. This guy's got none. This guy's got 3. Alright, so the dark green's pretty good too. How are the tans? This guy's got none. This guy's got 2. This guy's got 3 and a tank kill? Excuse me? What? No tanks on the field, so I don't know where that came from. So tans actually, they're pretty good too. Kind of disappointed in the light greens. I sort of thought they had more kills. Maybe their comrade who died had all the kills or something like that. But either way, the blues down to 5 troopers, sort of having to defend this section that the purples held earlier, but with far less troopers. The oranges, I think, have the most troopers right now, which is like 6 to 7 in this block. Purples are down to 3. Dark greens are down to 3. Tans are down to 3. Light greens are down to 2. It is evening out rapidly. The light greens winning is less of a far-fetched idea now, as all the other factions begin to lose more and more men. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. This machine gunner really gunning for that orange kill. This orange trooper just sort of chilling. You can hear when a few of the oranges start bleeding. They start making cries for help and stuff. Man, oh man. This is going crazy, man. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and speed things up a little bit? This is a half-an-hour long video, Jesus. So we're going to speed things up, try and get the battle a bit more resolved. We're seeing oranges pop out a little bit, tans sort of retreating again. Light greens moving in, doing their sort of guerrilla warfare thing, spraying some of these blues, but then retreating back. Dark Green's actually entering into the city now. Finally, the Dark Greens have gotten what they wanted. They lose a man right there, so Dark Greens are down to 2. They're engaging slightly with the Blues over there. Oranges still chilling where they sort of were. They still have a lot of men. Purples are down to 2, and they are just chilling on the outskirts. So most units are down to 2 men. Blues have about 5 from what I count, and the oranges have similar numbers. One orange getting caught out in the open, trying to take out that blue, who doesn't manage to... Oh, he's still alive. I thought he died. He's getting hit a lot. There we go. Now he's down. Bummer. Alright, interesting, interesting. Still lots of fire coming in on the Blues here. You can tell it's becoming endgame as things have settled down. This dark green is about to be flanked by some tans over here. If they do move in, that'd be a good opportunity for them to get this kill. The tans are just on the opposite side of this building here. They're sort of observing what this dark green's doing. Is that the last dark green? Very well could be. It is. This is the last dark green. He's got 3 kills. He's getting shot at, though, from... Who's over here? That must be the purples. There they are. Purples shooting at that dark green, wanting to just extinguish the last remaining dark greens. Oh, how's our boys, the light greens, doing? Light greens down to 1 man. Looks like one of his comrades died, as the Blues actually tried to retreat a little bit this way, I think, and then they gave up the light green position. Oranges down to 2, I think. Yeah, oranges are down to 2. They're sort of pushing in. Blues still got that hefty 5 troopers. Blues could take it all. And they're engaging a little bit with the oranges across the way that way. Looks like that dark green soldier did end up dying. And now these 3 purples, 2 purples, as one gets... No, still 3, sorry. I thought one died there. 3 purples still sort of chilling on the outskirts now. Maybe that breakaway from the inner city was just what they needed. Orange is down to 1 trooper. Light green soldier on the escape. He gets gunned down. That's the end of the light greens right there. Dark greens and light greens out of the equation. 5 blue soldiers remain, 1 orange, 3 purple, and 2 tans. Honestly, close enough numbers that it's anyone's game, but the Blues obviously have a distinct advantage. Interesting. Orange trooper over here, really not sure what he's going to do without his comrades. He's sort of wafering about. The purple's over here, just sort of holding this farmstead. Tans holding these buildings in here in the inner city. They're engaging slightly with the Blues. 1 goes down. That's down to 1 tan now. And still 5 Blues. These Blues moving in sync. That's what they need to do. They need to all stay together. If they split their forces, they could easily end up losing everyone. But if they stay together, they can just crush any other force that tries to attack them. They're susceptible to a flank from these purples over here now, but the purples choosing to stay within the house and not attack as the Blues try and chase this tan. Where's the tan? Where'd he go? It says he's on the minimap. Oh, wait. Is that him? No, that's a dead tan. It says he's alive. Where is he? Oh. Oh, I think he's unconscious. He got knocked out or something. Poor lad. Orange going for a mad flank on the Blues. Gets 1 kill. Blues down to 4. He takes cover. Purple's still across the way. Purple's engaging a little bit with the Blues there. Orange getting scared off a little bit. Where's that tan at? Tan still alive, or is he dead? Tan finally did die. Okay. So it's Blues versus Purples versus 1 orange. Blues down to 4, I think. Unless they didn't really die. No, I see 5 Blues. Never mind. I was wrong. They do... Did they get the kill on that orange? Yeah, they got the kill on that orange. So blue versus purple now. Sort of what the whole battle had been from the beginning. Purple's totally suppressed over here. Neither of these guys have their helmets. But look at those Blues. They're out in the open. They could gun down 3 right now if they just spray fired from their position. 1 gets up. The other runs. 1 goes down. These last 2 versus 5 Blues as they come in. Purple's trying to retreat a little bit more. Maybe trying to lure the Blues out. There can only be 1 victor. This guy guns down. Nope, that purple's still alive. Oh, they're still retreating. Oh my god, 1 purple goes down. Last purple alive. Can he get another kill before he goes down? Grenades going off. He's healing a little bit, and he gets gunned down. Blues with a huge victory here. Man, oh man, are they a powerhouse. Let's check out how many kills they all got. And they all have very powerful weapons left alive. I think the trick behind the Blues winning was that they had 2 machine guns and 3 riflemen. They didn't have any SMGs left, which probably helped them because having these weapons is way better than the other ones. So this guy got 5 kills. This guy got 3. This guy got 10. My God, man, this MG32. This guy got 8, and this guy got 4. All of the Blues pulled their weight here, the survivors. Crazy, crazy battle. We can press the skull here and check out who's dead. Yellow are blue troops. The reds are all the rest of the troopers. And as you can see, the Blues are well-traveled. They had men dying pretty much all over the battlefield, save for this little corner over here. Oh my God, everyone died everywhere during this battle. Like, there's not any places where people didn't really die. This was insane. This was a crazy battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it, genuinely. Army Men Civil War Season 2 is coming very soon. I promise you that. Let me know if you want to see more of these arena battles in the future, and I will see you all later. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.